Thank you so much for staying with Sunrise. You can find herbs in your home or your backyard for home remedies, or if you have enough information for just about anything. But how well do you know the herbs that are all around us? We're joined this morning by founder and CEO of Hallelujah Lifestyle Wellness Center, Dr. Ben-Yisrael, to educate us more. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise, Dr. Ben.
Thank you for having me.
That introduction doesn't give your background in herbal medicine enough justice at all, because outside of what you have founded, you are not. Sometimes persons think people who are dedicated to the value and sharing the benefits of herbs are not authentic professionals.
That's something that happens a lot because of the fact that most herbalists are traditional practitioners, and because herbology is an art as well as it is a science, for the most part, most practitioners practiced out of a sense of more of an art rather than a science. So because the science was not properly appreciated, then most persons think that this is just mysticism, or so there wasn't that great respect.
Right. But I also think that the more people have knowledge of their herbs and their benefits and their healing qualities, is the less benefit that commercial pharmaceutical companies will have. And so perhaps that's another reason too. If more people understand how to heal themselves through the herbs around them, then that doesn't help the powers that be and the traditionalist structures of prescribing chemicals and synthetic material to treat our ailments. So maybe I think that's another reason why herbalists get a bad rap.
Yeah, so the institution that are out there, because for example, Jamaica, maybe for the past 50 years, our main healthcare was based on traditional medicine. And so, for the most part, for Western medicine to gain the traction that it has gained, it had to create a sense of disrepute for what we had all of those years taking care of us. So, yeah, that is to some extent why it has not, why it doesn't have the respect that it should have.
But you've dedicated your career to not only practicing the art of herbalism, but also the science
of it, right.
And one of the ways that you are doing that is by establishing centers across Jamaica where people can access herbal medical care, but also to establish and to do the research to determine what is Jamaica's herbalist tradition, in a way that persons, in the same way that we have Ayurvedic medicine as the traditional medicine of Indian countries or Indo-Asian peoples. We have the Chinese traditional medicine as well. You are saying we have the Japanese medical. You are saying that we can establish a Jamaican traditional system.
Well, not just a Jamaican. What I'm advocating is that we have what is called traditional medicines. We have cultures like China, we have cultures like India, that alongside Western medicine, within the scope of the healthcare option, there is traditional medicine. I am saying that Jamaica and the Caribbean has a uniquely distinctive practice that persons in the diaspora, this is the medicine that they trust. This is the medicine that they know. I mean, 70 to 80% of Jamaicans are more likely to trust the medicine. And what I'm saying, I think it's also slightly irresponsible for our government to have maybe such a high population that trust a form of medicine and they haven't put enough into somewhat, because wherever there is a possibility for positive, there's also negative.
Right.
Because where something is not understood, there's always the possibility that it can be abused.
Abused and misused.
Yes.
Correct.
And there's also the opportunity, because Jamaica is home to 50%. So 50% of the medicinal herbs that are used worldwide is found in Jamaica.
Stop it.
Yes. With 30% of those herbs only being found in Jamaica.
So 50% of what people use as herbs worldwide, we already have those.
We already have
and
it here.
of that portion, 30% can only be found in Jamaica. So we have they're endemic, so that means our herbs are extremely valuable.
Extremely valuable. The thing too is that our herbs, because we don't have a developed herbal industry, most of our herbs are organically grown and they're what we call wildcraft. So the value on a global scale is phenomenal. And this creates the opportunity for so many value-added products. Right now, I'm based in Portland now,
yes,
and I'm in Portland and St. Thomas, and I'm believing that the next crisis is going to be a food and medicine crisis. And we saw that recently with the pandemic. We saw how wealthy countries during the pandemic, how they hoarded medication, and those countries that couldn't take care of themselves were left vulnerable.
But we also saw in the pandemic how our grandparents' cures and natural remedies using onion,
garlic
and lemon and ginger and turmeric, how persons took those nutrient-rich herbs and cared for themselves. And many times the person who had the right knowledge of how the herb should be applied treated and cared for their loved ones to recovery.
Yes.
What that kind of right knowledge in terms of dosage to prevent misuse, what are you doing? You mentioned an online space that you're creating to kind of shore up that kind of knowledge and information. Tell us a little bit more about that.
All right, so first of all, natural medicine is not an exact science. Right? It's not an exact science. It was never intended to be, because originally our food was supposed to be our medicine. And when we talk about food, we don't so much talk about dosage, We just eat. When something is natural, for you to be affected negatively, you have to eat almost a large amount. Not only that, but nature has built in it a mechanism to deter persons from doing so. So for example, when some fruits are not ready, one of the deterrent is that the fruit is either stony, sour, or bitter.
Come on. So nature says, if the mango green, it don't drop.
Yeah.
So it's not available. So nature is saying, leave it. It's not yet ready.
Yes.
When it's ready, you just touch the mango, it's there. Or you just go in the morning and it's there.
Yes.
So if before it's ready, it's stony, as you say. Before the ackee open, it poisonous.
Yes. No, ackee is a fruit. It's supposed to be eaten raw. No, if you eat it raw, what you will find is that it's bitterish. But when you cook it, because you apply heat, the heat removes that bitter sensation. So what happens to you? You are poisoned. But if you eat in its natural state, the minute you put it in your mouth, you know it's not ready because it's bitter. Just like the minute you put mango in your mouth, you know it's not ready, or ripe, or green banana, you know it's not ready. So nature has built-in mechanisms to protect us. And so this is why indigenous medicine is so important. Because what we have done, for example, is that I believe we have blundered. We have replaced, or we have made our main source of income in something as fickle as tourism. When Jamaica was identified and was being explored, it was being explored for its natural resources. It was the banana, it was the logwood, it was the ackee, all the natural, all the things that made Jamaica of value. When we gained independence, we discarded them. And we have built our economy on something that is very fickle. And so I say to persons, I give you an example. I've been on plots where persons are farming crops, and the weeds that grow there wild are more valuable than the crops, and they don't know.
Wow, so we clear the land of what is extraordinarily valuable to plant what we think has commercial.
And I give a point in case, there are some farmers in Portland who get rid of gotu kola.
I don't know what that is, but tell me about it.
So gotu kola is a herb that is well known for sending oxygen to the brain, and they remove it to plant coffee. There's farmers in Clarendon who remove herbs to plant crops that are nowhere near as valuable as the herbs.
So tell us about what you're doing to make sure persons have the greater knowledge and are able to access the resources to now treat ourselves through herbs.
So one thing that we have done is that we have clinics.
Yes.
We have clinics across the island, We have a clinic in Kingston and Morantby and St. Thomas
What
and
the
St.
clinic
Ansby.
name? So
The Hallelujah Lifestyle Wellness
Hallelujah
Center.
Lifestyle Wellness Center. If we go on the internet and type that in, we can see the location.
You'll see the locations.
All right. And then the online space.
And then outside of that,
Yes.
now, as I said, what we have seen is because through our clinics, we have identified 5 major industries. We have, when we wanted to expand, we realized that we needed harvesters, we needed persons who could formulate, we needed persons who
Doc,
could...
I want you to tell me if the clinic make already, because we're out of time. So is it that where it is to come?
No, the clinics are here.
The clinics are here physically. Definitely
Yes.
know that. You mentioned the Boston.
The latest project now
Yes.
is the Boston Institute
Yes.
of Natural Medicine.
Yes.
And what we have done is that we have organized a formal structure, formal way
Wow.
of studying Jamaican herbs.
Wow.
So it's not just because what we have is we have so many
And how can persons find that, Doc?
Boston Institute of Natural Medicine.com.
We love that for the people. Boston Institute of Natural Medicine.com. Go there and we can begin to learn more.
Yeah.
You have some herbs on the table in our last 15 seconds. I just know this as a flowers that I saw in my front yard, but
Yeah.
you're saying this is a herb.
Yeah, it's called croton, but it was made internationally famous by Dr. Sebi. It's also pavana. So a lot of persons hear about pavana, this famous herb that helps to detoxify the body. This is pavana.
Croton bush detoxifies the body. Wish we had time to go through all the other ones that Dr. Ben carried here this morning. But if you never know about the croton, at the very least, now you know. We're out of time. We'll bring back Dr. Ben to bring some more herbs and tell us all about it. Until then, stay with us, Sunrisers. We'll be right back after these messages.